Rolling along for this super fun show, Toppings, Business Leadership Toppings, a story of help. We're going to bring up one of my favorite people in the dental world next, not just because he compliments me on the food I select for CE courses, but what we're going to do is talk about one of my favorite things. So everything that matters needs a system, and everything matters is my favorite quote, and make the best decision in the moment. So we just had Nick talking about dental insurance because offices use dental insurance. Like my office, good example, me, guy in blue sweater. But also, I use an in-house membership club for people that might not have dental insurance, may have lost their dental insurance during the pandemic. So I want to welcome Tom Camarota, who've been on Nacho TV many times. But Tom, if you could share a story of help, that would be awesome. And then we'll dig into what you guys do. Yeah, I think you're still muted there, Tom.
Oh, unmute myself. I thought I was waiting for you to unmute me. Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Yeah, so what we do is we help dentists start up their own membership savings plan, and we also help them sell products to their patients. So we do a number of things. But one of the most interesting things that I've heard in the last couple of months is when a dentist told me that they had just recently gotten a letter, and this was in the summer of COVID, basically, and they had just gotten a letter from their insurance company saying, hey, we're going to decrease our reimbursement rates to you. They had worked with this insurance company for many, many years. And, so then that kind of got them to the point where, I'm going to go and look back at my books for the past couple of years. And they looked back and they couldn't believe in the past 5 or 10 years, they had millions upon millions of dollars in write-offs to these insurance companies. And at that point, he's just like, I've had it.
It's like when the restaurants put the calories on the menu, like, well, now you've ruined it. I'm not getting But what happens is instead of your appetizer, it's your business. And that's such a good point because, it's not so nuts to me that insurance companies are like, hey, we're going to pay you less than we did last year. Is that cool? If you said to your spouse, I'm going to love you less than last year, they would get very upset. But we are sometimes feel bonded to these insurance companies in a toxic way. And what Nick shared and what I would share is I've done fee negotiation. So I keep ones that are not spoiled guac PPO, but then you're able to remove ones from your plate that are, and you can we use Tom's in-house membership club. It's phenomenal. I love when I get the email saying someone has signed up for it. So an in-house membership club to me is just a no-brainer. But I also want you to share, Tom, about your online store. Tell us how that works.
So the online store is really cool because basically you don't have to carry any inventory anymore. So if you want to offer the latest toothbrush, toothpaste, whatever it is, you don't have to go out and buy that, spend that money. You don't have to take up office space. You don't have to let it go to waste and expire. You could basically just turn it on your store. Hey, I want to offer this, and boom, it's offered to your patients. And then your patients could order it, it'll arrive the next day or two. It's basically like your own mini Amazon empire, basically. Is what you're doing.
That's wonderful because, Tom, I want to jump in. I've always been entrepreneurial, not a surprise to most people watching. So back in the day, I said, hey, Dad, let's buy these electric toothbrushes for $100 and sell them for $125. And we had these boxes and then we sold like 2 of the 10. So that cost us money. Now in this online store, even though there's an opportunity for the office to make a small profit, that's not really why I do it as a service to patients. I get notifications, people get it. I want them to feel comfortable, but tell us, you told me one of my favorite phrases, escalation of commitment. How does escalation of commitment help us as dentists with an online store?
Yeah, and that was one of the most interesting things we actually found out from the data that we looked at. It's not so much about the money that you're making, but it's the money that you will make. And it's about retaining those patients. And so we found out that the patients who were actually purchasing more products, $5, $10 tube of toothpaste or whatever it was, even a $50 toothbrush, you don't think very much of it. But what it does is it creates that little small commitment, that micro commitment, so to speak, to your brand and to your service. And so then when it comes time for those bigger commitments, like, hey, you coming to an appointment, or, hey, I need to get a crown or an implant, they're more than willing to make those bigger commitments because they've already made a series of smaller commitments to you. And that's really the best explanation to it. And psychologically proven to me, studies going way back. It's basically very similar to the gambling stuff, but less so.
Yeah, and in a positive way, because, it's just people, you want people to be healthy. You want to sell help to them, right? We should be proud to sell help in whatever form it is, right? Dental schools made us so weird. They charge $500,000, but then don't talk about money. Maybe they should. They got us to pay the $500. So why we don't make this is proud to sell help proud to move people forward, make things more fun. So literally the in-house membership club concept has been one of the best things I've done. And Tom, you're such a gracious sponsor. You're saying, hey, at least do something, right? At least incorporate this in some way. We use Tom's program for this and the online store. Tom, people can text club to 215-543-6454 to learn more about you. But if they want to reach out directly, how can they do that?
Sure, they could just go to dentalstores.com/dentalnachos, and we'll even have a special discount there for you. As well, you can give us a call, 1-800-746-7657, or you can email sales@dentalstores.com.
Awesome. You will not regret in looking into just finding out about that. So
people ask me, what is it like to be a dentist? My name is Paul Dr. Nacho Goodman, founder of Dental Nachos and Dentist Job Connect, and I will tell you, being a dentist is like being the star of a Broadway show that no one wants to pay for or see. Pretty much the opposite of my favorite play, Hamilton. Every day you go in to help people chew and smile with confidence, all while trying to reduce the number of times you feel like crying inside a day. Being a dentist can be amazingly awesome. It can also be annoyingly awful. At Dental Nachos, we want to help you develop fundamental skills, enhance your skills to make your dentisting life more successful and less stressful. Every week, we are going to be giving out a free appetizer. It will be an opportunity for you to taste test one of our awesome CE courses. The theme for this week is crowns. The posterior crown, the back tooth crown, it is the workhorse, the fundamental chip of what happens in a restorative dental office. So if you text crown to 215-543-6454, we will be rotating through our amazing crown prep, crown inserts, crown impressions, how to troubleshoot crown courses. Just text crown to 215-543-6454 and we will send you that CE appetizer for you to take the CE, learn, earn CE. There's absolutely no cost, no obligation to you. If you would also like extra guac, because everyone likes extra guac, you can text guac to 215-543-6454. That will give you a free pass to tour all of our CE, all of our content, our communication tips, our career advice. My goal is to give you an asset, something you can have on you at all time, use anywhere, anytime, so that you can make starring in your play as happy and as less cry anxiety as possible. A lot of people ask me, what
Hey everybody, it is Paul Dr. Nacho. So glad you are here. True story, I got a small gym behind me here so I can work out and do my shows, especially on a Sunday. Super glad that you took the time to be here. What's most important to me is for you to ask a question that will help you do better. ATQ, ask the question, how much should I get paid? Is my associate going to be too slow for my office? I would love for you to ask that. If you're watching on demand later, please feel free to text me a question at 215-798-9897. I'm so glad to have put together content like my Burn webinar that you can watch anytime, anywhere, so that you can learn, earn, see, and get a checklist for success. So what I would love for you guys to do to put in the Q&A, spend 30 seconds. What is one question you have about the topic of creating success with owner-associate relationships, contracts, collaboration, CE communication? let's take 20 seconds as people come into the webinar for you to ask a question in the Q&A about how I can help you. Thanks, guys. So now you've seen my checklist for success. I'm a huge fan of checklists. Let's go through these one by one. So I can give you the 3 questions I would ask as a practice owner and the 3 questions you should ask as a job seeker, and the one thing both of you should do. So the first VIP question is why? Why is this practice looking for an associate? Why are you looking to work in this practice? Is the associate position a car or a boat? A car is a need, a boat is a want. People will sell their car before they sell their boat before they sell their car. You may know someone who's had a boat, doesn't have a boat anymore. That can happen with associateships. So there are well-meaning practice owners that simply do not have the patient volume to support an associate, but they want one. So a car is a need, a boat is a want. In my practice, we had an amazing associate who became a periodontist. I told her it'd be a good idea to become a periodontist, and she did it. So that was a car position. She had a 4-day-a-week work schedule. This was a few years ago, but let's say that she was collecting $40,000 a month. There was patient volume for her. If it was my first associate, and I said, oh, I would like to be less busy. I would like someone to help me with emergencies. That's a boat position. It's a want position. There's no judgment on either position. But if you're someone who needs a job and you take a boat position, you may find yourself without a job. If you're a practice owner who doesn't really understand which position you are offering, if you have a true need or a want, you can mismanage the expectations of your associate. So it is key for you to dig into those details. How busy is the practice with both numbers and patient volume? One of the questions I would tell a job seeker to ask and an owner to be able to answer is, my name is Dr. Paul Goodman. I broke number, actually I kind of falling in 19. I broke number 19 and my tooth would benefit from a crown. I never tell patients they need something. I say would benefit from. When can I schedule my crown? Okay. And here's what you would like to hear: 6 weeks or more, because if the practice owner can get me in next week, it is very likely they do not have the patient volume for an associate. Practice owners, dig into the details and the numbers with your accountants as well. And please feel free to ask questions in the chat. What should I be looking for as a new graduate dentist associate? Love that question. That is part of our checklist. Now, practice owners, what's something you can ask? You're sitting there, you've been a dentist for 20 years like me, 30 years, and you're hiring your first associate. If you're second or third associate, what can you ask this associate? Now, dentistry is like full contact arts and crafts on people who don't want to be there. That's pretty much it. So what is the full contact arts and crafts experience for your associate? What is their clinical experience? What is the number of reps? I was doing some bicep curls for. What is the number of reps they have done? So dig into those clinical experiences, genuinely explore them. And job seekers, please do not be insulted or take offense. In a practice, it's important for the practice owner to have context of the procedures you can do. Did you do 6 crowns in dental school? Did you do 60 crowns in dental school in your GPR? Have you been out for many years? It doesn't mean just because you have more clinical experience that you're a better associate. Sometimes people develop bad habits. But one of the things that happens in a private practice environment is that it's a business. And if something takes me 40 minutes and it takes my associate an hour and 40 minutes, I need to manage that. It doesn't mean that I won't have the associate. I need to select the right patients. I can't select the are we done yet patients. So explore the clinical experience, and associates maybe bring kind of an idea of your clinical experience. I've done 30 crowns, I've done 300 extractions. I've done 5 root canals so that you guys can have an authentic discussion prior to taking their position. VIP question for associates to ask, how will we be compensated? What we did there. Money's important. You got to pay your rent. You got to pay your student loans. You got to pay off, pay your rent, student loans, food. So here's how you ask it. Hey, Dr. Practice Owner, seems like a great practice. I would like to ask, how are the associates compensated here? How are the associates compensated here? A little bit better than how much money am I going to make? So here is an answer that I find troubling. Okay, so I'm a practice owner. I'm the founder of Dentist Job Connect, dentistjobconnect.com. We'd be happy to help you find a job or hire an associate. You can find out more at dentistjobconnect.com. So I'm going to role model 2 answers. I'll play both roles like it's Fight Club. So I am the job seeker, Gary Guac, and I'm asking Dr. Paul Goodman, how am I going to be compensated? So Dr. Paul Goodman says this, Gary Guac, you're going to be really busy here. You're going to eat what you kill. You're going to be paid on commission. You're paid 33% of production. Whatever you do, you're going to get paid on. Whatever you do, you're going to get paid on. Notice I didn't say there was any sort of income guarantee. Now Gary Guac is going to ask Dr. Nacho. Great question, Gary Guac. A lot of job seekers, a lot of new dentists, and right, I'm a new dentist, a lot of dentists interviewing ask that. The way it works at our practice is that you have a guaranteed salary, an NMW amount of money that you will make for the year. Let me explain. If you work with us and you work 200 days a year, you are going to earn a guaranteed salary of $120,000 no matter what. So think of the whole year, this guaranteed salary, $120,000 as a W-2 employee in our practice no matter what. Now, we want to strive. We want to hope you make more than that. So at the end of the year, we're going to take the money that you have collected, your net collections, money that comes into you. We can talk at a future webinar what net collections mean. You can also text me that question, exactly what net collections mean, if you would like, at 215-798-9897. But let's say these net collections are $600,000. 33% of that is $200,000. So now I have $200,000 here, and I've paid Gary Guac $120,000. So on the last day of the associateship, I'm going to hand Gary Guac, I'm going to direct deposit $80,000 into Gary Guac's account. Awesome. Now let's say Gary Guac was not as busy as I hoped, and Gary Guac had only collected $300,000, and a third, 33% of $300,000 is $100,000. But I paid Gary Guac $120,000. Gary Guac does not have to pay me back the 20. Gary Guac gets to keep the 100. Draw is not a great word to hear. That means you can claw money back. In my example of the overage of the 80,000, we don't really wait until the end of the year to do that, but it's a great way to explain it. So if there's no income guarantee, it's a risk. If there's no income guarantee, it's a risk. I would not accept a job myself without an income guarantee, and I do not offer one. We offer income guarantees from the first day to the end of the associateship for both our general dental associates and our specialty associates. So really great question there. VIP question for the practice owner to ask, have you worked with a dental team in the past? Very important. Practice owners, raise your hand if you're a practice owner here in the chat. You know your team. You know Sally's great, but she can be a little short. You know Debbie could be really kind, but talk too much to patients. If your associate has never worked with a team of hygienists, front desk, and assistants, it is going to be a whole thing for them. And you're going to need to spend time explaining to them how to work with your team and having them get along. Now, it doesn't mean just because they worked with a dental team, they're going to easily get along with your dental team, but it's really important to understand, is this associate's first job in private practice? Or DSO, or DSO. Now, first jobs, you have the opportunity to mold the associate in the way you do things, but they don't have the experience, both clinical, team management, and patient management. So that's something for you to be aware of. VIP question for associates to ask. How often will I be the only dentist in the office? Very key. So if you take a job as an associate and you're a new grad, any D4s here? Anybody going to be graduating from their GPR, AGD, or D4 and plunging right into the real world? When you're the only dentist in the practice, that means you have to answer all the questions, check all the hygiene patients, do all the emergencies, and see all the patients. It is a lot to deal with for any dentist, but especially a new dentist. So ask, how often will you be the only dentist in the practice? And then get to know you. Some of the messages I get from associates who say, hey, I'm making a lot of money, Dr. Nacho, but I'm really lonely. Hey, I'm making a lot of money, but I don't have anyone to ask questions to. So it doesn't mean if you're going to be the only dentist in the practice not to take that job. It just means to ask about it and know your own personality type. Because if there's no one there to ask questions to who's another licensed dentist, and you're a new dentist, or even, any dentist, I like to ask questions of my brother when I'm working. I like to ask questions of our prosthodontist. Get to know you, because being the only dentist in the practice, no matter what you are earning, can be very lonely and very stressful. The 3 M's are mentorship, money, morale. Focus on those 3 M's. Practice owners, share. What does the mentorship look like? Do you help your dentist in the operatory learn how to place implants? Do you mentor through FaceTime, or you're not even there? What's the morale like in your office? Be authentic. Say, hey, we've had a lot of shifts in team members. We strive our best to be positive, but there's a lot of new people here. Or say, we're a well-oiled machine that's been together for 10 years and we can't wait to have you on board. But people are going to have to get adjusted to what you do here. So mentorship, morale, and money. Money, talk about it authentically. My dental associate position, it's not for everybody. It's for me. Sometimes people say, hey, Dr. Nacho, your associates don't earn as much as other associates. I know they totally don't. There's a DSO associates where you can earn $300,000 a year. Maybe that fits for you. Just authentically share what you do, interview, explore, and start the process early. Whether you are looking for a job, you're in dental school, you should be looking for a job day one of D1, applying for your job 12 months before you need the job. Now, if someone says it's too early, say, no problem, keep my resume, but you may magically find 12 months, beginning of D4 year, beginning of your GPR AGD. I've been in this world for 20 years, and starting too late is a big problem, especially for job seekers and sometimes practice owners. Start exploring as much as possible. The observation day, this is really, 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 really important. Anytime I hire an associate, or if I was getting a job, I would say, hey, would it be cool if I came for like half a day or a full day? I'll wear scrubs, I'll sign your HIPAA release form. I just want to observe. Now, if I was a job seeker, I'm going to share this. You wouldn't have to pay me. If you want to ask to be paid, that's okay. You want a stipend. But if I was going to take a job and work in a place that determined my livelihood, my morale, how much dentistry I do, I'll dedicate half a day or a full day for free. I'll wear scrubs. I'll bring freaking bagels because I want to see what this game looks like behind the scenes. Dentistry is basketball, and you need to see them playing their game. The practice owner sitting in the waiting room with a coffee, Starbucks, the office manager in a room. You do not see how the game is played. So observe. I am not a fan. And believe clinical working interviews are nacho nuts. I've never done 1 second of a clinical working interview for a dentist, and I've hired over 10 dentists. To me, it's an incredibly unfair position to say, hey, come in and see this patient that you've never met or treatment plan, work with an assistant that you've never met, work in an operatory you've never worked in. It's like cooking in someone else's kitchen, even though you know how to cook, you don't know exactly how all of their stuff works on patients that are strangers to you. So I am not a fan of clinical work interviews. To me, if someone asks you to do a clinical work interview, I think you say, hey, how about this instead? How about I come observe for a day, get to know the office, ask questions, I'll see how everything goes. I would make sure there's liability practice owners on you and the associate. I have no idea how you explain that to the patient. Hey, Millie, just want to let you know we're testing out this dentist over here. If we like him, we're going to hire him. If we don't like him, we're not going to hire him. Good luck with your filling. I don't get that part at all. I also don't think a one-day snapshot is really reflective of people's total skills. Much better, you could maybe create a 90-day trial period, a 90-day period where you work together without a contract in force. You can talk to a dental focused attorney about that, because that is what we get to for the one thing both of you do. The biggest problems I see is not utilizing attorneys. Having D4s, new dentists, I don't know what the word is for it, you're cheap, you're frugal. You say to me, I don't have money for an attorney, and then I look on Instagram and I see you in Cancun and I go, oh, they're giving out free trips to Cancun now? No, do both. You find the money for Cancun, find the money for the attorney. You find the money for fancy dinners, find the money for the attorney. I love treating myself nicely, but this is too important. This is your career. There are dentists right now costing themselves tens of thousands of dollars, costing themselves practice opportunities, not being able to leave, having to pay liquidated damages. Our podcast, theDentalAmigos.com, has tremendous information on this. Do not skip this step. Find a good dental focused attorney and have them review the contract with you before you sign it. Practice owners, this is your business. This is your practice. This is what you put your sweat and tears into, right? Your sweat, blood, sweat, and tears, as they say. Create a contract with an attorney that's customized for you. Manage expectation, days off, CE, or you got to pay for malpractice, not for payroll. This is how we pay. Create agreements. Agreements acknowledge expectations. So I highly recommend you do that. If you would like to get connected with a dental focused attorney and get a list of red flags and contracts, just text LIES to 215-798-9897.
Before signing an associate contract, what should dentists do?
Hire an attorney.
Really good advice. For more advice like this, text SURVIVE to 215-543-6454. Dental Nachos is dedicated to helping you survive and thrive in the real world of dentisting.
If you happen to be a dental student, I have a fantastic on-demand CE course. It helps you treatment plan your life for happiness. Text your year to this number. And if you're watching, you're not a student, you're like, hey, I would like this too. This goes over buying a practice, finding a job, working with advisors. Who should be on your basketball team of advisors? This course is fantastic. Just text happy to that number. If you're a dental student, text the year that you're in to this number. If you are not a dental student right now, new dentist, seasoned age dentist, dental hygienist, dental assistant, advisor, just text happy to 215-798-9897. If we can help you hire an associate, we do that through our Dentist Job Connect program. It's affordable, it's amazing. Text hire to 215-798-9897. And as I play this video here toward the end of this webinar, I would love to answer specific questions. More people have come. If you're watching this on demand and you think of a question, please feel free to text me that question at this number. I'll be glad to answer it. In between dadding, Dr. Nachoing, and dentisting myself, I'm so glad you're part of this community. The more responsible information we share, the better we can make it for everyone. Dentists now, dentists in the future, our patients, our families, our team. The dentalamigos.com is our podcast that's totally free to listen to. So I'm going to play a few minutes of this video. If you have any questions before we wrap up this webinar, I like them to be sitcom length. Just pop them in the Q&A and I'll be glad to pop back on and answer them. Thanks for being here.
Are you a successful but super stressed out dental practice owner? You have too many patients to see, too many hygiene checks to do, and you just feel like you're driving yourself nacho nuts at times. This is Paul, Dr. Nacho Goodman. I'm the founder of Dentist Job Connect, and I created a program to help dentists just like you. An amazing and affordable system for all, whether you're a solo GP to a giant group, how you can connect with associates across this dentisting world. But before I share about that, I want to share with you 6 things, 6 questions, 6 concepts to be successful and reduce stress in hiring an associate. Concept number 1, question number 1, is your associate position a car or a boat? Is your associate position a car or a boat? What does that mean? A car is a need. A boat is a want. Do you need an associate because your associate got into perio and is leaving? Happened to me. Or do you want an associate because you're just too busy and it's okay if you make a little bit less money? It's okay if you work a little bit less. You just can't check 30 hygiene patients a day. So is your position a car, a need, a boat, want? Both are totally acceptable reasons to look for an associate. I will share with you all of the dentists looking for jobs. They need this weird thing. It's called money. They need money. We all need money. So need positions often offer more money because you have a track record of production, a track record of an associate who's been there. A want position, you may need to realize with your advisors, check with your accountant, your financial coach, your spouse. Hey, if I hire an associate, I'm doing $1.3 million a year. I'm making $500,000 a year. If I hire an associate and I start to share that production in a boat position with the associate, I may go from 500 to 400, and that may be totally fine. That's a hypothetical scenario, but one that I see all the time. So first is the position. Why do you need an associate? Why do you want an associate? Identify that first. Second, what is the associate going to get out of the position that has nothing to do with money? How is it going to impact their morale? Are they going to get mentorship from you? Are they going to learn advanced procedures? Are you going to teach them the ups and downs of running a circus? I mean practice, I mean circus. We've had associates in our practice, and that's one of the value adds that they get working with us. We teach them about systems. We teach them about team management. We teach them about patient communication. So if there's a morale-based topping that they're going to get, treatment planning sessions with you, team meetings, figuring out how to enhance their life as both a professional and a person. Make sure you share what are those morale-based things that have nothing to do with money. Third question, how much money they're going to make? What are they going to earn? One of the things we do as dentists, if you're a smart dentist who's been doing this for 19 years, is you do not overpromise. Don't overpromise. Share what you can commit to. What is the guarantee? So if I said to my associate, if you work with me, Dr. A, for a whole year, 200 days a year, you're going to make $120,000 no matter what. That is your safety net guarantee. And then we're going to put that against 33% of net collections. Net collections being the collections minus the lab bill. So I hope you make 150, 180, 200, but I want you to know you're definitely going to make $120,000 a year. too often practice owners and groups are too wishy-washy, as my grandmother might have said, too wishy-washy and say, oh, there's a great opportunity for production, great opportunity to make income. What's the guarantee? There's no guarantee. You just eat what you kill and you're hunting class 3s. That to me does not inspire confidence in the person you are hiring. So develop a daily safety net guarantee for the money they're going to make, explain the why behind it, and then share what's the potential. So in that scenario that I shared, hey, no matter what, you're going to earn $120,000 a year as a W-2 employee. It's going to be against 33% of net collections. No matter what, you're never going to earn less than that. And our goal is for you to earn 100 to 150, 180. But our main goal is to always do patient-centered production, not production-centered practice dentistry. Patient-centered production. Is it great for the patient? Does it help them chew and smile with confidence? Great. And is it productive for the practice? Those two things can go together, but do not mess up that order as an associate or owner, or you're going to regret it. So patient-centered production. Fourth, where's the practice? Where is it? And what is fun to do in that area? Because there might be amazing opportunities in South Dakota. But if someone's from New York City, it's a big stretch to move to South Dakota. Doesn't mean they're not going to move to South Dakota, but you need to share where is this position and what are fun things to do, and highlight multiple fun things to do. So as someone who's the founder of Dentist Job Connect and interviewed many, many practice owners, I hear like people say, if you come here, you can be outdoors and you can hike and you can canoe. But I am, like Jim Gaffigan says, me personally, Paul, an indoorsy person. I like museums. I like restaurants. So maybe that wouldn't be attractive to me, but
it's a true story. I'm pretty indoorsy. I am going to have to end this because I'm going to see the moderators of my family, but love that you're a part of all the things that we do. As I said before, if you're a dental student, take a screenshot, text your year to this number. We'll give you a free C course on treatment planning your career for happiness. If you're not a dental student, just text happy to 215-798-9897. If you need a dental focused attorney to help you, please text LIES to 215-798-9897. We have a ton of awesome content on our on-demand platform, including this Burn webinar. Text Burn to 215-798-9897. Really appreciate you guys being part of this. Have an awesome rest of the day.